All right, Eric, let's start by having you tell me a little bit about yourself. Okay. Well, I'm still living at home while I'm going through school. I have both parents in the house. My little brother lives with us. He's a junior in high school. I have one older sister. She's since moved out. She's married. I have a little niece. She's pretty adorable. As far as personal interests go, I love nothing more than the art of filmmaking. Ask anybody that knows me, they all would agree. I'm watching movies all the time. I make short films all the time. I have a YouTube channel that's dedicated to it. That's really my main interest, in life, I would say. I spend a lot of time with my family, of course, as well. Family is very important to me. Um, but as far as just personal hobbies and interests go, it's definitely movies all the time. It's just huge passion of mine. All right, let's move on to the next question then. How do you feel that you're qualified for this position? Well, aside from the fact that I love the art form so much and it would never feel like work to me, professionally, I've done several ads for a local band. Around where I live, it's a country band. I've done promotional videos for them. I've made a internet ad for a place called Westridge Assisted Living in Girard, Kansas. It's just kind of like an old folks home. I did an ad for them, and more recently for the same place, I've done a TV spot that will be playing on TV. So professionally, I have a bit of experience in the field, but I think that plus my overall love for the art form of film and for directing and just the whole all of the aspects of it, I feel like that's what qualifies me the most is just how much I care about it, and I also have professional experience. All right. Let's move on. Do you think that you work better as an individual or as a team? Well, I think that I can work either way. I've been in both positions. I've been in positions where I have to work as a team. Whenever you're on the set of any kind of shoot, if you're making a film or anything like that, that's a team effort. And if you're the director, you're the leader, right, of the team. So I've had plenty of experience doing that. But I'll also in things like editing, where that's just me on a computer. I have just as much drive and motivation then as well. I don't know if I could say whether or not I'm better at one or the other. I feel like it's just kind of whatever the situation calls for. I do whatever to get the job done. Okay, how about we move on to the next question? What do you foresee being your greatest obstacle in this position? My greatest obstacle in this position. Well, I know that directing can be difficult whenever you have to deal with difficult people. So I think that maybe my biggest obstacle to overcome in that regard would be uh, any time that any actors or crew members are acting out of sorts. That might be a little difficult. I might get frustrated. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm a super angry person. I can get mad sometimes, but um, maybe wrangling those people in would be kind of difficult. Personally, I can't think of anything that I would have trouble with as far as the job itself goes, the actual act of making a movie. It's just fun to me. So, um, so yeah, I feel like the greatest obstacle would be wrangling in non-cooperative members of the crew and cast. Okay. Okay, how about this? What area of the position do you think that you would excel the most in? I think the area that I would excel the most in would be just the communication with the director of photography, the cameraman, because I mean I think I'm a great people person too. I think I can communicate ideas really well to the cast and stuff, and uh, tell them what kind of performance I want out of them and things like that. But I feel like my biggest number one thing is my ability to think of a visual and be able to communicate what I want that to look like with my camera crew and my director of photography and such. Um, I feel like that would be my biggest strength, is my ability to communicate with those individuals. But I also feel like I am strong when it comes to communicating with everyone else too. But if I had to choose, I would say communication with the visual people. Okay, Eric, how about now you describe for me an example of a time that you were a leader in the workplace? Well, I mean, like I told you before, I've made lots of short films. I've done commercials for a business, and ads for a local band, and all of those times I was in the director's chair. So I feel like each one of those is a good example of a time that I was a leader, because the director is the artistic leader of a film set. So all of those times I feel like were good examples of me being a leader. Also in high school, I was the leader of the Scholars Bowl team. I was the captain, so that was a whole semester of me having to be a leader and kind of lead the team. But professionally, yeah, I've done the ads and all the short films and stuff. So I feel like those are the best examples of me having to put on a leader hat. Yeah, yeah, all right. Okay, Eric, we have just a couple more questions for you. How do you overcome conflict in the workplace? Well, I think the way that I would overcome conflict is I would have to center myself. I would just have to kind of, you know, think about the situation and just adapt. I think that's the number one thing. I think that I would just have to adapt. I think I'm pretty good at adapting to negative situations. I'm sure whenever you're making a movie, things never go right all the time. So there's always times that you have to change the schedule. You have to, do something differently than what you originally planned. And I've gotten through it each and every time. So I feel like that's it. I feel like I would overcome conflict by just adapting to it. Oh, nice. Good answer. I like that. Okay. If you were to obtain this position, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Well, hopefully making movies. That's why I'm applying for this position. It's just, that is my ultimate dream, is to just, make a living doing the thing that I love. So 10 years from now, I'm hoping that this opportunity leads to other opportunities that, will further my career, and I can, make a living doing this thing and creating these things that I love. All right, here's kind of an important one. Are you willing to travel or be flexible with your schedule? Yeah, I could definitely travel for short periods of time. I want to try to live most of the time at home, with my family. That's very important to me. But whenever it requires going to shoots in different locations, I have no problem with that. And as far as my schedule goes, my schedule would be completely open. There's no time of day or anything like that I would require special, treatment for, where I didn't have to work or anything like that. I wouldn't require anything like that. My schedule would be totally open, and and I'd be totally willing to travel. Well, all right, Eric. I think we're pretty much done. Do you have any questions for me about the job? No, I don't think so. I mean, personally, I've been doing this for a while independently, so I know quite a bit about doing the job already, and just any research that I've done online. So no, I think we're good, sir. I respect that. All right, well, look forward to our call. Okay. All right, awesome. Thank you for the opportunity.